Howdy. It's a Make Loud Monday on a Thursday. I actually made a video for Monday this week, and unfortunately, I was not able to publish it because it was a mixtape, and it had a lot of copyrighted material in it, and YouTube said nope. So rather than rushing and trying to pull something together at the last minute, I just skipped it on Monday, but I did want to publish a video this week, and the one I'm going to do for you today stems from a conversation that I had with some friends about, I don't even remember how it came up. We were talking about fuzz pedals, and then we started talking about bagpipes. And I said, I'll bet you I could make a bagpipe-like sound on the guitar using one pedal, and that pedal is not a fuzz pedal. It is, in fact, this pedal. The Electro Harmonix Ravish Sitar. I love this pedal. I don't use it that much because it is a bit of a handful, and I won't say it's a one-trick pony. It can do quite a lot of things. I hope to demonstrate one of them, but it can be difficult to control. So let's just quickly go over what this pedal does. I'm sure that most of you know what a sitar sounds like and how it works. There's 3 main strings, and then there's a number of sympathetic strings that vibrate depending upon what note you play, and it makes kind of a twangy, buzzy sound. And, the Beatles did, they introduced some sitar music in the late 60s, and other people have introduced sitar music. And obviously, if you are from that part of the world, from India, you've probably heard some amazing sitar players as part of your cultural upbringing. So that's great. But if you don't know how to play a sitar and wouldn't know how to get one or string it or keep it in tune, there are a couple of different options that you can go to for a guitar. You can get a guitar that sort of simulates a sitar. Dan Electro makes a model like that, or Coral makes, I think Dan Electro is remaking them, but Coral was the first one to do it, and they just put sympathetic strings against plexiglass that made them make a buzzing sound. Or you can get a pedal, and there's the Sitar Swami and this one, the Ravish Sitar. And what it does is it takes your dry signal, and you can there's a couple of different modes, so you can cycle through. So this is like you select what key it's in. So you would say, oh, that's going to be in F sharp major or G major. And you can just cycle through all the different keys. And there's a couple of different modes to this. And I'm going to demonstrate this one. Yeah, there we go. It's set up the way I had it before. I don't even remember what this is called. There are 5 modes to it. Regular mode, key, decay, modulation, and then this one is like some sort of preset or something, I think. Anyway, so what it does is you have your dry signal, which is controlled by this knob right here. Then there's a lead signal, so it applies the sitar emulation to your dry signal, just basically making the note a little more twangy and buzzy. And then there's this third knob here, which is sympathetic, and that's those sympathetic strings. So you can control the loudness, the level of them here, and then these are kind of like tone controls, timbre controls. So if you fiddle around with them, you can make it sound like a synth or a sitar, or any of a variety of other weird buzzy things. So what I wanted to demonstrate today is I'm using a riff from a song that you might remember. You might remember this song from the late 1980s, mid to late 1980s. How old am I? The song's called In a Big Country by a band called Big Country. Weird how some bands do that sometimes. And this song, I always thought it sounded kind of bagpipey. I think they were using like an ebow or some sort of sustainer, and there's a riff in it. So let me just quickly grab my guitar and plug it in, and I'll play the riff for you without any effect on it, and then we'll play it with the sitar and see how close we got. All right, so we got the guitar plugged in now. It's the Duesenberg that I play, Duesenberg TV Phonic. We're in the middle position. Pretty normal tones. And here's what the riff sounds like if you play it without any effects engaged at all. So it's got a little bit of a twang to it, and hopefully you can kind of see the, or kind of imagine. You know what I'll do is I'll put a link to the original song. Go pause it, listen to the video of that song. It's a great song, and the riff I'm playing is kind of in the middle, but it's reprised throughout the song in a couple of other places, and you'll hear the tone. Like I said, with an ebow, and I don't know what other effects chains they had going on. So that's what it sounds like. So now let's go ahead and engage the Ravish Sitar. So those are a couple of chords, but really I think that when you play the sitar, you're intended to play single notes. And that's program number 7. So if we were to play the same riff with this kind of synthy sound, it would sound like this. Whoops. So here's the one that I think sounds kind of a little bit more bagpipey. Sorry, it won't calm down. So if you have any signal going through, it will try to emulate it, and it'll put the drones into the key that it thinks is right. So we're going to have a little bit of background hum that will sound chordal here. But here's what it sounds like if we play the riff with the Ravish Sitar engaged. So still kind of sitar-y. Let's see if we can find a setting that's a little closer to bagpipes. Okay, and I will point out that I am playing this an octave lower than it's played in the song on the guitar, because of all the overtone harmonics that the Ravish Sitar generates. If I play it up the neck, it just becomes piercing, and probably angers every dog and cat in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. So here's a slightly different setting, and I left it on the same program, but what I did was I turned down the dry signal most of the way, and I turned down the lead signal also most of the way, down to about 25%. So what we're going to hear on this mostly is the sympathetic strings and a little bit of the lead. So here's what it'll sound like. So we're getting closer. It's still got a little bit more, sounds a little bit more like an organ, I think, than a traditional sitar. Let's noodle with a couple of other settings and see if we can get a little closer. Okay, here's another one. This one has a little bit more of the tone, but somehow it's still getting a little bit more of a pluck sound. Here's what it sounds like. So a little more bagpipey than sitar-y. and we can fiddle with it. Let's try. Let's try this program. Messed that up. So you can see, like, you can get a lot of kooky tones out of this thing. What's the next program? This one. So that's super buzzy. So it's like a bagpipe chainsaw. Let's see if we can control this a little bit. Turn down the timbre a little bit. Here we go. So there you go. That's all we're going to do for today. We're just fiddling around a little bit with the Ravish Sitar pedal. If you ever have a chance to borrow one or try one out, I would suggest that you do it. Give it a try. It can be a lot of fun. Like I said, it can be a little frustrating at times too. And I don't know if the money you would spend on a Ravish Sitar would be the most versatile investment you could make as a guitar player. But I think it's fair to say that you probably don't have another pedal quite like this in your collection right now. So I hope that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and get out there and try weird stuff. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do a little dance, make a little love. We'll see you around.